Welcome back to another episode of Manly Focus, where we explore real-life relationship stories and dilemmas. Today, we're diving into a story about trust, communication, and uncertainty in a marriage. We're discussing a Reddit post about a woman who discovers her husband's messages to another woman, and the discrepancies between his version of events and the actual conversations. Is it a cause for concern, or just a misunderstanding? Let's explore and discuss together.
My husband has been messaging another woman and I don't know if I should be concerned. Hey everyone, looking for a bit of advice cause I'm feeling a little confused. My husband works in a job where he meets a lot of people and has regulars that he sees fairly often. He tells me about them all and had in the last few months been talking about a woman he had met, we'll call her Claire. Apparently him and Claire have quite a lot in common and our daughter is the same age as hers, so they have discussed getting together to have the girls meet. There has been a few times when they've been due to meet but it has been cancelled. The way my husband has told it to me is that she's initiated most of the contact and suggested they meet. One of the times I was told she was attending a funeral and would be in touch after to meet. She didn't get back in touch. Anyway, fast forward to today and I was messaging our plumber on my husband's phone. He'd asked me to do this. I noticed a message from Claire from yesterday, so I had a look. I know this isn't great and honestly the whole thing hadn't bothered me until I saw this. Not only is it my husband who has initiated most of the contact, he is the one who has suggested to meet, and on the day of the funeral she clearly stated she was attending a funeral in response to him asking if she wanted to meet. There was no "oh, I'll get in touch after." The message from yesterday was him telling her he was working that day and she should pop in to see him. I have no idea what to think, and don't want to raise it if it's nothing. But I'm concerned about his telling of events being different to what's happened.
Our story begins with a 36-year-old woman, who finds messages between her husband and a woman named Claire on his phone. Her husband had been talking about Claire for a few months, and they had planned to get their daughters together for a playdate. However, the wife noticed some inconsistencies in her husband's account of events and the actual messages. First, let's look at the husband's behavior. He works in a job where he meets many people and has regulars that he sees fairly often. It's not unusual for him to make new friends, but there seems to be something different about his relationship with Claire. They seem to have a lot in common and have discussed getting their daughters together. The wife is understandably concerned about the discrepancies in her husband's account of events. She decided to look at the messages on his phone, which may not be ideal, but her concern led her to want to understand the situation better. In the messages, she found that her husband initiated most of the contact and suggested meeting up, contrary to what he had told her. There could be several reasons for the discrepancies in the husband's story. It could be a simple misunderstanding, or he might have intentionally downplayed his involvement to avoid arousing suspicion. It's also possible that he might not realize the extent to which he's initiating contact and suggesting meetups. The wife should address her concerns with her husband directly, but calmly. She could start by expressing her feelings about the situation and asking for clarification about the inconsistencies she noticed. It's important for her to approach the conversation with an open mind and be prepared to listen to her husband's perspective. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation. Have you experienced something similar in your relationships? How did you handle it? Share your experiences and advice in the comments below. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Manly Focus. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next episode, where we'll explore another intriguing relationship story. Until then, stay strong and keep growing.